I'm Father Jim Loughran, Director of Graymoor Ecumenical and Interreligious Institute, and it's great to be here with you all on this Wednesday of the Week of Prayer for Christian Unity. The Week of Prayer for Christian Unity has its roots in my religious community. In case you haven't noticed, I'm a Franciscan. And we're one group of Franciscans, and among many, called the Franciscan Friars of the Atonement. We had the first church unity octave at Graymoor from July 18th to 25th in 1908. Geneva, the World Council of Churches, and Rome, the Holy See, have a joint commission that goes to a different country every year and finds a theme for the Week of Prayer for the following year. This year's theme comes to us from Malta. And so it's a theme about welcoming the stranger. It's a theme about being open to hospitality and to treating one another with unusual kindness.
Spirit of love, come upon this assembly and dwell among us. Spirit of unity, show us the path towards Christian unity. Spirit of hospitality, teach us to be welcoming. Spirit of compassion, instill within us an attitude of respect to all those whom we met. Spirit of hope, help us to detach ourselves from all hindrances to our ecumenical journey. Thank you.
We were being pounded by the storm so violently that on the next day they began to throw the cargo overboard. And on the third day, with their own hands, they threw the ship's tackle overboard. When neither sun nor stars appeared for many days, and no small tempest raged, all hope of our being saved was at last abandoned. Just before daybreak, Paul urged all of them to take some food, saying, "Today is the 14th day that you have been in suspense and remaining without food, having eaten nothing. Therefore, I urge you to take some food, for it will help you to survive, for none of you will lose a hair from your heads." After he had said this, he took bread. Giving thanks to God in the presence of all, he broke it and began to eat. Then all of them were encouraged and took food for themselves. In the morning, they did not recognize the land, but they noticed a bay with a beach on which they planned to run the ship ashore if they could. So they cast off the anchors and left them in the sea. At the same time, they loosened the ropes that tied the steering oars. Then hoisting the foresail to the wind, they made for the beach. After we had reached safety, we then learned that the island was called Malta. The natives showed us unusual kindness. Since it had begun to rain and was cold, they kindled a fire and welcomed all of us around it.
Witnessing this disaster taking place before their eyes, the Maltese people don't get together and judge or categorize or criticize or decide if those people who are about to perish in the sea are the right kind of people or their kind of people. What they do is they see a need and they take action. They respond. They recognize their common humanity and reach out. And isn't this one of the places where we see the Church of Christ at its best? When we join together across denominational definitions and boundaries and come to the help of those in need because, well, that's what Jesus told us to do. The greatest ecumenical cooperation is in showing unusual kindness to God's hurting children. And maybe, just maybe, if we extend that same kindness and, dare I say, love to one another in the body, on the ship together, it would move us further on our voyage to unity.
We cannot face the storms of life alone. A boat moves forward when all row together. In the face of difficulties, we recognize the need to pull together and to unite our efforts.
The church sets the model, the followers of Jesus set the model of what it means to be united for a common purpose. Like those aboard the ship on its way to Malta underneath with Paul, the opportunity to gather together and to help save people is really what Jesus calls us to do. So during this week of prayer for Christian unity, we pray and work that God's vision for us might come to reality through our efforts and the blessing of God's Spirit.
We have a wonderful opportunity to come together during this week, share opportunities of praying together, living spiritual ecumenism, which we really believe in, and simply have a chance to show how much we truly have in common, how we are gathered together by Jesus Christ, and we really are one body. We really are one Christ.
We're reminded that we have more in common than not, that we might worship together the one true God as that God continues to unite us in one spirit.
When we come together, pray together, we not only want to bear witness to Christ's unity and Christ's message to the world, Christ's salvation, but also the fact that if we want to be real witnesses of Christ's gospel, we need to come together, we need to work together, we need to pray together.
And so I think by showing each other unusual kindness, we are reminded that we are to take kindness even a step further than we normally do, that we're supposed to be people of mercy and reconciliation.